Walking home and a car pulls up next to you. Oh my God. It's an old lady and she wants directions to the nearest Burger King. Do you know how to give her directions to the nearest Burger King? Do you know how to give directions at all? If not, don't worry. Today, I'm going to teach you how to ask for and give directions to a person in a car. But before I do that, I need to teach you some vocabulary that will help you with today's lesson. All right, let's go. 3 common ways to ask for directions. 1. Do you know where Burger King is? Do you know where Burger King is? 2. Could you tell me where Burger King is? Could you tell me where Burger King is? 3. Could you give me directions to the nearest Burger King? Could you give me directions to the nearest Burger King? The nearest means within the shortest distance. The first word is intersection. Intersection. An intersection is a point at which 2 or more things intersect, especially roads. The second word is traffic light. Traffic light. A traffic light is a set of automatically operated color lights, typically red, yellow, and green, for controlling traffic. The third word is roundabout. Roundabout. A roundabout is a road junction at which traffic moves in one direction round a central island to reach one of the roads converging on it. The fourth word is street. Street. A street is a public road in a city or town, typically with houses and buildings on one or both sides. The fifth word is go straight ahead. Go straight ahead. If someone tells you to go straight ahead, it means to continue in the same direction you are going. The next words are turn right, turn right, and turn left, turn left. The next words are you're going to pass a place. You're going to pass a place. You're going to pass a place means you're going to go past something or move in relation to it. The next words are it's on the left, it's on the left, or it's on the right, it's on the right. You can use this expression to indicate where something is going to be. So I'm right here and the old lady is right here. And she wants directions to the nearest Burger King. But before you can give her directions, you need to know your way around town. And knowing your way around town means to know the different streets and the different places. So let me explain that to you on my map. Okay, so on my map, I have 4 streets. I have Cheesecake Avenue, Pizza Street, Sushi Road, and Burger Lane. Yes, I made these names when I was hungry, and I still am hungry. But I also have an OXXO. An OXXO is a type of convenience store where you can buy little things for your house or little snacks. I have McDonald's. Every city has a McDonald's. I have the mall. Okay, the mall. I have a hotel. I have a bank. And of course, I have Burger King. Burger King is our objective. All right. But let's take a closer look at the streets. I have 1, 2, 3 stoplights. Okay. You know, stoplights are usually at intersections. And I also have a roundabout that is near Burger King. All right, so now that you know your way around town, let's give this lady directions to Burger King because she's hungry like me. All right, so we're here outside the OXXO and our objective is Burger King. To get there, we can take two different routes. We could go doop, 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 and doop. Or we could go this way, doop, doop. Which one is easier? The second way, right? So let's give her directions using the second way to keep it nice and simple. All right, so if this lady asked me for directions to Burger King, this is what I would say. All right, miss, you're going to go down Cheesecake Avenue until you reach Burger Lane. On Burger Lane, you're going to turn right and keep straight on Burger Lane. You're going to pass the roundabout, but keep straight. And a few meters after the roundabout, you're going to see a Burger King on the right. You can't miss it. Okay, so later on that night, you go to the bar for a few beers, and some tourists come up to you and ask you if you know where Tony's Tacos is. In your mind, you say, duh, I know all my city. So you start to think, what way can you take? You can go doop, 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 doop. Or you could go doop, doop, doop. And of course, the second way is the easiest way. Okay, so let's give the tourists directions to Tony's Tacos. This is what I would say. Okay, so you're going to go up on Sushi Road until you reach Cheesecake Avenue. On Cheesecake Avenue, turn right. You're going to continue on Cheesecake Avenue. You're going to pass the stoplight, and Tony's Tacos is going to be on your left, across the street from the gas station. All right, so earlier I showed you how to give directions to a person in a car. Now I'm going to show you how to give directions to a person that's walking. All right, so before we begin, let me show you some vocabulary words. Make a right, make a right, make a left, make a left. All right, so now that you saw the vocabulary, let me explain the new places on our map. Okay, so on our map we have a stadium. It's a place where people have big sports events. All right, I added some apartment buildings, you know, where people live. I added a Subway, the restaurant. I added a movie theater, you know, where you watch movies. I added a park where you can go and spend time. I added Walmart, you know, Walmart. The skating ring, you know, we can go skating. And I added Wingco. Wingco, or the Wing Company, is a wing restaurant. All right? All right, so you're at Tony's Tacos having lunch with your friends, and a guy comes up to you and asks if you know where the skating ring is. Of course you know where the skating ring is. You know your way around town. So let's give directions to this guy. All right, so this is what I would say. You're going to go down this street. I'm going to point. And so you're going to go down this street until you reach the next street. All right. When you reach the next street, take a right and walk down a few meters. You're going to pass a park. And then the skating ring is going to be on your left. You can't miss it. And that is how you give directions to a person that's walking. Very similar to giving directions to a person in a car, right? Right. Well, I know that giving directions these days is not very common because everyone has GPS in their car or on their phones. But sometimes it happens. And I hope that this video can help you prepare for those times. All right? If you learned something, give me a like and subscribe. See you in the next lesson.